Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm Watching You, Season 4, Episode 4, Bisling or
Hampsie.
Hampsie. There you go.
Which is a slang for Hampshire.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So they were escaping the city by going to the countryside where
Phoebe's house, yeah.
had a house in Hampshire. And everybody went.
Except for Reese.
Yeah.
Also, there's no cell service.
Yeah.
So if it is Reese, Joe would not be getting the messages. But even if it's anybody in the house, they would also not be getting the messages. There's also no Wi-Fi at all. So, like, it sounds medieval.
Which, I mean, would be nice. I don't know. Okay.
I can't watch Netflix to go to bed. Are you out of your mind?
No, yeah.
Diabolical.
That is inhumane. We're still really liking it.
Oh,
Loving
yeah. Oh, my God.
it. Loving it. But I think they were coming on too strong, being terrible. Like,
it's mostly just Gemma.
It is mostly because, like, I don't know. She's just berating the help. And I don't understand. Like, it feels leaden.
As a person who gets, like, hard anxiety to be like, you brought me a Coke when I asked for an iced tea at the restaurant, I literally can't imagine making someone get on their hands and knees to be my croquet wicket. Like,
I just sort of, I prefer my rich people out of touch versus
like actively hostile. Yeah. It's just,
it was very sort of like, what did one poor person say to the other? Who cares? In a way that I was kind of like, okay, I don't know. So
well, then she would just like, she and Rold were just like, clear as you and I, just having a conversation about, oh, they should be so lucky to be in our presence.
It was odd. It was a very odd.
As they're all standing around the perimeter of the room.
It was a very odd choice. Phoebe seems to be a real one.
I think she's sweet.
I love Phoebe.
Yeah.
She whatever Joe said to her, which I maintain has to have been just a middle of the road aphorism.
Yeah.
Just sort of like 6
Everything
of one, half a dozen of the
other.
Fine. She thinks he's in love with her, so she tried to.
Well, she thinks she's in love with him, and also she thinks that Adam doesn't love her anymore because he's been distracted.
Well, he doesn't have money and he's gay, so
he's not necessarily gay. He likes getting peed on by dudes,
boys, by young men. I feel confident in saying.
The hardest I'll go is bisexual.
Well, and she seems wise to it now, although she only oversaw him interacting somewhat intimately.
I mean, their cocks were basically touching. They were doing the opposite of like a chest-only hug. They were like this. They were like
docking. Just
cocks first.
Anyways, she did the thing that TV shows do that I hate, where it's like they see and then they immediately run away, and I'm like, I would be like,
ooh, he's about to get paid on.
But that's what I'm saying. That part didn't even factor in.
Yeah.
And also the help. Whoever this server. I almost said servant.
I mean, he is technically a servant. He's employed by her family. He works for the family.
This butler.
Sure. Yeah.
Is like down to clown. Like,
he's not down to clown. He is like actively clowning.
He knew this all too well, and I just don't like. And I mean, I know that that's very. He
literally may as well have sidled up to him at dinner and been like, "When would you like me to piss on you later?"
Him a funnel. Just brings it out on a platter. I don't know. It was really. I'm getting mixed messages from
Adam.
Well, from how this group treats the help.
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, again, he's American.
Sure. Well, yeah. But I'm like, I know that that's part of it. That the rich people don't like the privileged don't give much thought, especially when they're in their middle of their drunken drug bodies party.
Of course.
But I'm just like I would be more nervous that my soon to be fiance,
Yeah.
because I need her cash, would oversee
In
this.
her own family's country house.
Well, I mean, which is palatial.
No, well, yeah. Here's the thing too.
And I gotta say, sorry, as much as I love her, tone deaf to
Phoebe? Oh, to do a murder mystery? Yeah.
to play a murder mystery game
Yeah.
when your friends are being, and whilst you're hiding out from a murderer.
So here's the other thing too. I made the comment during our live watch. If you want to watch us watch the show, go over to Patreon. But I made the comment that it was giving me, especially when Joe and Roald were hunting, it was giving me the vibe of like that one thing Phoebe Waller-Bridge said about Fleabag, where she was like, the thing about her is that she is like sort of deeply secretive, but she circumvents that with other people by being very, very blunt and open about her sexual like exploits. So because she's being so open about such a private aspect of her life, you don't realize the places that she's lying. And I think it's because Joe is an outsider and he's also poor. And so they don't really, it's like he's not a person. So they're all just sort of telling their sordid history to him. And obviously part of that is like a narrative structure and like a writing hack and everything.
Well, also, but
it's fascinating the things
it's a note
he's
of the
learning.
show because he does get involved with self-involved people.
Yeah.
And people love to talk about themselves. If you want someone to like you, and of course there's
broad strokes.
But if you want someone to like you, just let them talk about themselves. They'll fucking love you. And
they'll reveal more than you think they think they are revealing. It's fascinating. I think it goes directly to, I mean, a lot of this comes straight from the books, the Caroline Kepnes books, but
has it not gone off on its own?
There are like 4 books at least. So I don't know. I've only read the first one, so I don't know how much it's sticking to it, but I was going to say also so much of the credit for this comes from Sarah Gamble, because I think she has such a lock on what makes a compelling story. And she wrote on Supernatural for a long time, and we know her specifically from The Magicians, but I think she's just so gifted at doing shit like this.
Still writing and specifically show running this season.
Which is, her and Greg Berlanti have been making the show from the beginning, and I just think it's like, it's so fantastic, and I think it's such a testament, and I always want to call it out when women are show running stuff like this.
Yeah. I don't know if baffled's the word, but we got a lot of Joe and Kate and Roald in this episode. And Roald took Joe out hunting and I guess was just fucking with him?
Yeah. We did get to a moment where it was very Lucius Malfoy literally about to cast the killing curse on Harry Potter in a way
because
that I was like...
You were literally like, don't get in front of him.
Yeah.
And he was holding the gun right at his head. And so he was interrupted by Kate, who
shot the pheasant.
And then Kate kind of, and it was I was only trying to drown him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so I guess had she not shown up, he would have just like spooked him. Like,
I mean, I guess it's just birdshot. I don't think it would kill you, but...
Oh, hilarious, because they also brought up the Dick Cheney. I didn't even think about that, because that's exactly what...
It wouldn't feel good, but it's like... he's not shooting him with like a shotgun,
but just the birdshot in the face. That's funny.
Also, there was nobody around collecting those pheasants, so they were just killing them for sport. They weren't even going to eat them.
Kate and Roald had a really loaded conversation. They talked like twice in this episode, and both times, it's not that I wasn't interested, but I was sort of like, say the thing.
Yeah.
Like, did you get that too? It was like they were talking in circles.
I mean, I feel
or talking around what.
Well, especially at the conversation at dinner, they were, because he was like, "Oh, you haven't told him," and it's just that she's rich.
And the show treated that like,
well, she's not, but her dad is
like stupid rich.
Yeah.
And so I was just kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's a great shame. And
well, he's terrible. He's like an evil billionaire.
Not one of the good ones.
There are no good ones. Eat the rich!
I will bring up one of my favorite Dolly Parton quotes, of which there are many.
Yeah.
But she has the capacity to be a billionaire.
She sure does.
But she is not, because she considers to be a billionaire in this day and age to be a moral failing. And I like that, because, I'm pro pro having things. I'm pro money.
Here's the thing.
But-
They also, at dinner, they asked...
There's a certain amount of money that I think is gauche.
Of course. They asked Joe, or Roald asked Joe, and he was like, do you, like, envy us or resent us or whatever? And he's like, I mean, he's not, but he is morally superior to them. And he's like, I'm happy with my life. And they were like, whoa, you could never be. I feel like I'm trying to be hedonism bot and I'm doing a really bad job. Regardless, I just am like, I don't know. I'm nowhere even close to a millionaire. And I feel like I'm happier than these people have ever been for 1 second of their lives. I could use more money, but I'm pretty happy.
I'll take your bet. I'll have to wait and see.
Wait and see till we're millionaires?
Yeah.
Look, here's the thing. I'm sure that a lot of things would be so much easier, but like, I don't have the crushing weight of family responsibility weighing me down. So I also don't have a dinosaur named after me. That feels like ridiculous.
So Joe and Kate there was lots of like,
I guess I'd better go.
yeah, I guess you better.
Yes, I guess you'd better have.
Yeah, there was a lot of that. Although they did have sex.
They did, yeah.
For a second time.
Still no kissing.
No. And,
but a lot of heavily breathing into one another's mouths.
And then they like had that moment on the like balcony type thing, and then Blessing tapped him back into the game. And then Joe is still convinced it's Roald, or he's still like going through his room, and Roald caught him. Although Roald was
him out the window.
Well, I was gonna say Roald was seemingly laying in wait.
Yeah,
like, it felt entrapment.
Yeah,
but then pushed him out the window and didn't seem plussed about it, or rather was plussed.
Was quite plussed. Yeah, and Joe's obviously fine. I mean, his back was making a lot of snapping noises, but he seems fine. He got up and walked away.
He did really Terminator.
He was like, but yeah, and then he heard screaming, and he thought that Kate was in trouble, so he went running into his room and then kicked the door down in between, because him and Kate have adjoining rooms, obviously, and he's in the Alfred Lord Tennyson room, of course. And so she was there holding the knife, sitting next to Gemma's dead body. So, I mean, thank God she was awful, but
well,
entertaining.
I thought she was hilarious for like the first 3 episodes, and then this episode was just like written by like something clunky. I don't not the right. I don't know. The heavy-handed look at the poor people was strange.
It was quite a lot. Yeah.
But and also none of it was funny. Like,
it was just really bad. It was like not funny, just very, very bad and mean and rude and
like,
out
it wasn't
of
like
touch.
Wicked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyways, Connie's still there.
The detectives were, again, because at the end of the last episode, we thought that they were gonna like catch him in a lie or whatever, but they had found Blue and she like corroborated most of his story, so it was like it checks out or whatever. So we'll see going forward.
So I think we're gonna watch the next episode, and then we're gonna be shit out of luck until March 10th, maybe.
Yeah, March something.
In which case, it's gonna have to wait for the Lego Rivendell set, and then
maybe we watch it while we're putting together the Lego Rivendell set.
And I am frothing. Like, I am absolutely chomping at the bit. So, all right. Bye.